Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. What is happening? Welcome to Series 6 of Working Hours, an oral history podcast about a place called Leeds, a time called now, and an activity called work. Working Hours aims to record 1,000 loiners, that's people from Leeds, over the course of this, the most important decade in the history of the human species, and ask them about what they do all day and hear how they feel about it. My name is Simon, and this is all my fault. My mission here is to try to map out what my city, Leeds, a city that has declared a climate emergency, did during humanity's biggest emergency. On Working Hours, we hear how loiners have, are, and will be coping with our multiple and expanding crises during their day-to-day working hours. Can we turn things around? We'll find out. To tell this story, I need loiners like you, dear listener. I need people in Leeds or people from Leeds to come on this podcast and tell me about what they do and let me record how this decade affects us. These are long-form interviews meant to challenge the short attention span content economy. That means they aren't always easy listening, but in my view, they are all worth listening to. They all tell us something about our guest, our city, and our time, not to mention something of what it's like to do that job and how someone got into that job. You're helping this project right now by being a listener, and I'd love for you to consider becoming a guest or a supporter of this project. Thank you for listening to this episode. What did you want to be when you grew up?
It's a really easy question for me to answer because I always wanted to be an artist. Okay. Or some form of creative practitioner. Yeah. Always knew that, which is really interesting because that's the sort of thing that daunts, it's scary to a lot of people, like the question of what do you want to be when you're older? Yeah. I think when I came to school and people asked me, it was more difficult because by the time I got to school, I was already like, well, I knew I wanted to be an artist, but you've kind of told me that I've got to do all of this instead. Yeah. So when I asked the question again, I was like, well, I don't know, like, because you've told me I can't be this thing yet, at least anyway, even though I know that that's the thing that I want to be. So school didn't really agree with me for that reason. It was sort of like the interim period before I got to do the thing that I wanted to do.
What about art class at school? Did that?
It was quite good. Yeah. I really did enjoy it, like learning a lot about like art history. I remembered stuff about like Keith Haring, and lots of other famous artists that we sort of replicated, copied. That was really interesting to me. But it still felt more like manufactured than freedom. Yeah. Like it didn't really feel as free as what I wanted from creating, which, before like preschool and things like that, I was making like my own costumes and painting whatever. And it was so fun. So yeah, it felt strange, but yeah, always wanted to be like some form of creative person.
So what drove that, do you think? Was it TV programs or?
Good question.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I think it was something like just innate within me. I remember like being sort of nurtured in it with like parents, grandparents.
Because you always do crafts as a kid, don't you? You're always colouring in or drawing or whatever.
Yeah, and I got these like craft kits. I remember talking about this with someone else for another like documentary that was filmed. I used to get these craft kits that was, it's just amazing. Like all of these a whole set of pens, like pencils, glue, like paint, everything that you needed. And that was just so fun to like explore and create with. Only later did I find out that the felt tip pens, you actually needed to add water to the top of it. Because there was these dry, crap, horrible markers. But apparently need to add water for anyone listening that also didn't realise that. But yeah, they were mint. And then I remember like extended family members would also buy like boxes of feathers or like leave empty toilet roll things like for me to like make loads of, or like cardboard just to make things with, because they knew that I had that like innate need to make and create. So it was nurtured from that. But I guess in myself, I was forced towards that, or like sort of cultivated that with that, and then the people around me. I don't know, everything helps. It was like a whirlwind of all, I wanted to do it, they've seen that I want to do it, they're providing the things that I need to do it, so it just kept vortexing round and round into I'm making things now, which is quite cool.
You're listening to Series 6, Episode 7, and to my guest, Jaydon Rowbottom. This is another in-person recording, recorded at Air Street Studios, recorded on the 20th of March, 2025. Hello, listener. Jaydon Rowbottom has a lifelong passion for art and creativity, from his early aspirations to becoming a versatile and successful illustrator, artist, and maker professionally. In this episode, Jaydon delves into his experiences with school, the influence of family, and the challenges and joys of turning a creative hobby into a profession. He talks about his current projects, including his part-time work with an all-female-led event set design company called Bazaar, and his aspirations to work on larger-scale projects and collaborate with more people. Jaydon also touches on the impact of the pandemic, the benefits and drawbacks of social media, and his eco-conscious approach to art. Listen as Jaydon reflects on his dreams, processes, and the ever-evolving landscape of being an artist in today's world. Right, let's do this. Episode 162 of Working Hours with Jaydon Rowbottom.
We'll go into how you got into it in a bit. So we'll jump straight into what are you doing now. So I take it you're doing something within art.
I am doing actually quite a few things within art. Yeah. So I have my own practice where I'm an illustrator, artist and maker. That's sort of like the title that I go by, because I'm doing all sorts of different things, like through working with wood, then painting those things, also providing like illustrated content for people. Like next week I'm starting a updated version of an emblem for the wardrobe that is a consistent client of mine. Loads of stuff like that, like character designs and logos for people. I really enjoy doing all that sort of stuff, but the work is quite inconsistent. So because of that, I also work part-time for a sort of events set design company called Bazaar. Like sort of fully female-led, really, really lovely people to work for, really interesting jobs and clients that I get to work like with them, for them with? I don't know. Yeah, so nice. It's just really lovely. Like great group of people and really interesting works that's painting, making things. I get to use a spray booth quite a lot with what I do. A CNC machine. I've been operating that quite a lot. Yeah, really, really nice like skills that I'm learning that I can then bring back into my own practice. And it really, really does help because it's quite, the clients are like, Meta was one of them. We've got one coming up that Sabrina Carpenter's just been. Who are we doing? Something for Disney. So there's like really, really interesting things that we're making and painting and yeah, nice things to be working on.
And some big clients that you wouldn't necessarily think, why would they hire a small independent artist? Yes.
I mean, personally, like if I was to do it on my own, I wouldn't be getting these jobs. So it's really nice to be doing it with this team. And if I'm totally honest, I wouldn't want those level of jobs because with my own work, I love working with like independents, sort of like smaller companies, because I like the straight from illustrator to business owner or, you know, not many people in the chain so that nothing gets muddied. I can sort of have way more creative freedom with the things that I do with my own work. But then the consistency of work, the joy that I get from the people that I work with and level of skills that I'm obtaining through this like body of work, I just enjoy it too much to not do it.
So before I sort of delve into further details about your actual work, let's do how you got into it. So how did you get into this?
So after school, I didn't really know what to do in terms of creativity because I felt like it was sort of driven out of me.
Was this like high school or did you go to art school?
So this was high school, or because I'm from the Midlands, we call it secondary school. But yeah, same thing. I went to college knowing that because for a long time I started like skating and BMXing while at school. So while doing that, I was also getting into like filming and editing like BMX and skate videos. So that was something that was really interesting to me. So I went to college hoping to basically do film. That was the initial like start. back into being creative after sort of feeling like I lost it through school.
Yeah.
I didn't get on the course that I wanted to get onto, but I did manage to get onto a course that was photography, film, and graphic design. I had no clue at the time what graphic design was, but the course was fantastic. Like learning all of these different things, like developing your own film in a dark room, creating logos, writing scripts and doing storyboards and filming it and then editing it and everything. After a year of doing that, I realised I could almost do all of these things through the graphic design course, because that encompassed quite a lot, which also introduced me to things like animation, which was essentially the film side of things that I wanted to do, but I get to create the whole world and draw it, and which was really, really fun and interesting. So went on to graphic design, even though when I first started I had no clue what it was, but that was the path that I chose. Did graphic design at college, then went on to do graphic design at university, and then was like, I love graphic design, but I want to be an illustrator. So there was people on the course. It was a really, really good course at Leeds Beckett, what used to be called Graphic Arts and Design. It's all split up now. But when it was all together, it was illustrators, filmmakers, photographers, graphic designers, painters, all like in the same place, all sort of bouncing off of each other. So the university experience for me was really what brought it all out of me again. It was like another experience of I get to be creative on my own terms again, which was fantastic, really, really beneficial for me. It was, the university experience, I had a great time and did really well from it. So after graduating, just delved deep straight into my practice. A lot of people wanted to go the proper sort of, I say proper, but graphic design route where they get a job in a studio or an agency or things like that. And I knew that I wanted to have my own style as an illustrator, which there's not many, there's a few in-house illustration jobs, but realistically, if you want to do your own thing, you're alone and you've got to go out and do it. Luckily, I'm quite used to people-facing sort of roles. I've worked in like a retail and things like that, and just really liked going out and talking to people and getting clients that way, just having conversations. So that worked out quite well, got a few jobs, and then, sort of snowballed into now I do loads of different things for loads of different clients, and then also, work for Bazaar.
So when you left university, how easy was it to kind of start picking up clients? Were you quite lucky initially, or was it a real slog?
It was quite difficult. Like really difficult, actually. There were times where
because you're totally fresh. I mean, you've got work that you can show to people, but you're also like, but I did that at school. It kind of meant nothing as well. Like what people saw isn't, like I saw in the work that I was creating the potential for it, not just like what it was. Whereas when you show it to someone, it's like, oh, you can only do that, come back later kind of thing. Some people took chances, which was fantastic. I had some really nice like clients starting out. Some of the things are still going. Some of the things I clearly spent way more time on it than the money that I was given, but I sort of did that knowing that because I wanted to. You're putting the extra hours in because you're like, I want this to be really good.
And I still kind of do that, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it's
you're learning as well. It's your practice, isn't it? So you're getting better.
So that, and I enjoy it. So like, if I want to spend more time on it, then I don't mind that.
That's up to you.
Exactly. It's my practice. So no, it's really nice. I can't remember where we were going with the question.
Just how you got into it. So I suppose we'll discuss some of it through COVID. So how long have you been doing this now then?
How long has it been? How long have I been out of uni? Probably like 7 or 8 years now, actually.
Longer than you thought.
Yeah, longer than I thought. I was like, about to say 5. I was like, oh, right, okay. So I've been doing it for about 7 or 8 years now. And straight from uni, and I couldn't recommend this enough if you were, say, to go into like illustration or doing anything that's like your own creative endeavour. Just practice. Like I was spending...
Finished pieces as well.
Finished pieces, because you've got to show people finished pieces, because if you show people part-way finished pieces, they don't quite understand.
This is something that started, I was really passionate about, and then I
forgot about it. Oh, right, so you don't finish projects, do you? Yeah, it doesn't look good.
No.
So yeah, I did a lot of, and what's it called? Self-initiated projects or like personal projects. Really, really useful, because through those things, you find hurdles that you have to jump over that you wouldn't have thought if you were within your comfort zone. So if you go for, like, say, a really ambitious project, like, I've never painted a mural, I'm going to paint a large mural. And it's like, that's not the same as drawing. Yeah. It's a lot bit bigger, and you've got to figure out how to draw on that scale and paint on that scale.
And you can't see it right in front of you. You have to, like, you're close up to the details.
And you almost have to project, take steps back, go back, forth, like, you know. So I couldn't recommend, like, doing personal projects that within your own bounds. Like, obviously, you can't just paint on a wall, but sometimes you can. So, like, if you've got a wall in your house that you can paint on, do it. If you want to create a massive animation or like a minute-long animation, just do it, because you'll find through that hurdles that you have to jump over and obtain new skills along the way as well. And then you can present that to a potential client in the future, and they can sort of see that within it. It's not just about the finished piece, but the skills that you show on how to complete it that they look for. That's what I've figured out. And it was really, really useful to have those projects that I created for myself after university, sort of like continuing that, setting briefs and completing deadlines and
keeping up the practice as well, because it's that if you don't use it, you lose it sort of thing. No, so
fully, yeah. Like only recently I've got back into like drawing very regularly, because I've been mostly painting or mostly doing other creative things, but drawing is like the backbone of my creation, and it's really, really important for like idea generation and coming up with the designs. And I stopped doing it regularly for like a month, and then I came back to it and I'm like, oh, I've forgotten how to draw. I'm an illustrator and I don't know how to draw.
It's still there. It's rusty.
Yeah, absolutely. And it felt very rusty. Yeah. So that was frustrating, but I did it. So
yeah. Are you comfortable in sort of any medium then? Or do you stick to particular things? Do you like to work in particular sort of materials or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I have the things that I prefer. Like say in terms of painting, I don't go for oil paints. I'm like always acrylic paints because they dry faster, and I like bold, bright colours, which you can obtain with an oil paint, but it's not really, like, acrylics are the way to go for that. So in terms of those sorts of things, then yes, I've got like, within the umbrella of painting, it's like acrylics over oils. Yeah. But generally, any medium I'm quite comfortable with. There were certain parts of like my university experience, now working for Bazaar experience or other companies that I've worked for, where I have to be sort of flung into, you need to use this to create this. And I just did it and enjoyed it, and it worked out fine. So I do feel like most media I can sort of get a grasp on, because there's a lot of transferable skills within them. Yeah. But then, through that I've found things that I prefer, like annoying drying times of oil paints. I don't like, because they can take up to 6 months to dry fully. And I'm like, nah. I've got too much to
do. I've got nowhere to put that for 6 months as well.
Absolutely,
So, because we're in the workspace down at Air Street Studios. So I'm looking at your snowboard that you've just finished, that we discussed earlier. Yeah. So you're not just painting on canvas or painting in books and doing illustrations and so on. Yeah. So is any of your work that? Do you get what people would imagine as a typical kind of, you sat at a drafting board and you're doing, your illustration or whatever? Yeah. Do you do any of that, or is it all just images that are going on things or decorating things?
Yeah, mostly decorating things. Now you mention that, I kind of prefer it. Yeah, I like the constraints of a particular shaped canvas. Yeah, which is really fun.
How could art fit on this?
Yeah. That defines the either design or illustration as well. Which I like. I like having like set rules or constraints that then force the design, rather than I've created what I want and I'm going to try and make it fit to this thing. It's like, how can the shape allow the forms to become a thing for the design? So most of the things that I do, it's like on windows or I've painted like a coffee machine or like logos on the side of a stand, or I'm trying to think what the weirdest sort of shaped thing is. I can't really think right now. But yeah, generally, I quite prefer painting on weird shaped things. I don't really like
You don't like a square?
I don't like a square. I do like
or
a
a rectangle.
Well, yeah,
that's just...
Because I also enjoy doing things for, like, say, social media, where you used to, at least with Instagram, now they've changed it. Everything used to be in a square. And I did quite enjoy that for, like, digital media. But when it comes to, like, real life practice, I don't know, weird shapes are great. Like, I like finding a weird shape to paint on.
I mean, does it appeal as well? Because, I mean, there's no set shape for paintings in a gallery or anything like that.
Yeah.
But in your mind there is, isn't there? Of like, well, they're this size. And the canvases are this size. Is it that, you know, non-gallery, unexpected places, things that appeal, you know, like not traditional shape, it's art somewhere that you might not necessarily expect it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's a small part of me, well, maybe not small actually, it's quite a big part of me, that's like, well, everyone else is doing that, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to do this instead, because that looks cool, in my eyes at least anyway. I don't think it matters if anyone else agrees, but people tend to, which is fun. But yeah, I do quite like trying as much as I can to sort of go against the grain of what other people are doing. It doesn't often work out because people don't resonate with something that they don't understand.
Well, yeah, they want you know, people want things that they've seen elsewhere. They don't want new things because they're like, I have to explain that to people. If it's something that they've seen before, they can just go, oh, that's good.
That's a good version of the thing. I know. Whereas, I don't know. I really enjoy just creating new things constantly. It's a good exercise for me, and it feels good to my brain. I can't explain it any better than that. It just feels good. So I don't see the point in doing things that don't feel good.
And so what's your kind of, not like work-life balance, but the sort of work-pleasure balance? Do you keep up practice outside of your work? And how does the pay sort of affect things? Do you neglect the stuff you do outside of your work to concentrate more on work? Like, what's the kind of balance with that kind of thing?
It used to be awful. I used to really struggle with like work-life balance. It was pretty much just all work, and I thought that was part of my life.
Because I enjoy doing these things and I'm getting paid for it.
It's like, I'm doing the thing that I want to do, but I'm also getting paid for it, which is a bonus. It's like, I'm not thinking of it like, I'm doing this work and I'm getting paid, blah, blah, blah. Like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, you know.
I need to rest and restore and
I didn't even think about that. I was like, this is my rest. This is the thing I enjoy. This is what I want to do. No, it's mad that only in the last year or so, I've come to realise that that's not the case, and I'm working myself too hard. And I found that the rest periods that I do have now, because I've got hobbies, like I like to climb, I like to go riding bikes. I've got a lot of things that I want to do outside of this, and I kind of really neglected them. But it's coming back, and I'm seeing more friends, and I'm doing more activities, and essentially trying to have more of a life outside of the practice that I've got. And then that's the sort of thing that you don't realise ties straight back into it, because rest days are really important, and having that time to have conversations with friends that are outside of these things always finds a way of feeding itself back into it. So I should have realised sooner that I needed more rest.
It's not, I don't think it's on people, because the distractions are all do stuff, produce, productivity, grind, to do things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Produce make stuff all the time. Go make it now. Make.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I was like, I'm such
down.
a good commercial, what would you get? Consumer, I don't know, what is it?
Producer.
I'm a good producer. I'm doing the capitalist thing, capitalism. I don't know.
But it damages your work. It's the thing of, you know, you need that time away and that breakaway, or even with any problem, you know, you think of something that you're rattling around in your head, and it's like, leave it for 5 minutes and then come back to it. It's like, I've got fresh eyes, and it works better.
Absolutely. Like bringing it sort of in a way back to like climbing, where I enjoy that quite a lot. There was something that someone said to me that like resonates through the work that I do as well. I was like trying to do this like problem on a wall, and I was like going for it. And the guy was like, take a bloody rest. You need to rest and then come back to it. And I was like, yeah, right, I'll do that. And then rested for a while and then did it. And I'm like, oh, right.
They were right.
Yeah. So you can't push yourself like to the point of breaking and then expect like, be like, oh, why has that not worked? It's like rest between the points that you want to do something and then it might work better.
But it's the thing as well of like, you know, the sort of no pain, no gain sort of thing, which is like, I get it. But also there's that, well, if you're feeling pain, you're doing damage.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of too late at that point.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Which I didn't realise. Maybe because, like, as I say, like growing up, skating and BMXing and things like that, it was like very much like...
You're supposed to do everything to the max.
Yeah,
You've got
absolutely.
as hard as you
extreme,
can.
like literally it's extreme sports. It's like, it's not tiled up.
The clue's in the name.
Yeah.
Yes, and also in the life expectancy of Type A personalities.
And now my back hurts and my knees hurt, so... and I don't do it anymore, so was it worth it? Answer is yes. But... yeah, no, there's a lot of life lessons to learn from all of that, if I'm totally honest.
But it's good to keep your hand in as well.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. And so we'll go into COVID. So I'm expecting that COVID was a big contributing factor in killing off a lot of those pursuits.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it was interesting because a lot of the clients that I had were, like, say, doing events and things. Mm-hmm. So...
all that stopped.
Yeah. But I was working there's an art shop in town called Fred Aldous. I used to work there. And because of COVID, so I was doing the practice alongside the part-time work there at this period of time. Because during COVID, everyone was like, wow, we want to make art and do art, we'll get art supplies. Work there, but it almost turned into like a warehouse, shipping out art supplies all across the country. So if anything, I was quite busy doing that at least anyway. And then because I was still within like our 2 meter separation around the people that are still creative and work creatively outside of the...
here, and were you ostensibly working here at that point?
I was I think it was during COVID that I first got a space here, which was the one just across the corridor. I think it was maybe 6 months into COVID. So yeah, for a chunk of it, I was in this space while also working there. So, and then there was no events on, I couldn't see any friends. So all I did was go to work, ship out a load of art supplies, come here with art supplies that I'd bought from there, and just make loads of stuff. It was actually... it sounds crazy, but like it was really, really beneficial to my practice in a way, because with what I do, it's all about practicing the thing that you want to do. And I had so much free time to do that. It was kind of great. Obviously, it was terrible that the other work that I was doing was sort of dying down, but it was enough to work at Fred Aldous and then come and do whatever bits I could off my own back just to improve my practice. It felt quite rewarding. But then also, I completely forgot about this. I set up a company with a couple of friends where we were essentially, it was like almost like an agency where we had a roster of members that were all creatives in different capacities. And yeah, we got a few people like a job doing some freelancing for some companies. A company gave us money for setting up a website and doing some stuff. So I found ways of keeping busy, essentially. And it was quite good.
What were you doing with the work? Were you managing to sell it on, or were you just filling up your house or other people's houses with various things? I've made this now.
Yeah, wow. No, I didn't paint too much actually then. It was mostly illustration work.
Right, okay.
So I was doing quite a lot of, lent more into like characters, because I was like, well, I want to do more like mascots and character design. So I was just creating loads of characters and creating loads of sort of stories. I started a picture book that I didn't finish because like COVID ended. So I was like, well, I'm going to go outside now. But yeah, I did loads. I was basically just illustrating loads and loads. I was getting through sketchbooks like nobody's business. It was really good. But yeah, not so much painting.
Have you still got the sketchbooks?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
Maybe a bit longer, but have a look back through them. I bet there'll be a bunch of stuff in there that honestly,
I did a look through some sketchbooks the other day, and this was only sketchbooks from a year ago, and I was like, oh my God, there's so much stuff here that I've not done anything with. I'm going to do something with it now, because especially in like periods, say winter, where I feel like spring, summer is like an idea generation sort of time for me, and winter and autumn are like an execution sort of side. So that's when I'll look through things, because I can't think of anything because it's dark outside, which is silly, but it's also it's what happens.
Well, yeah, I think you naturally shut down in winter, and it's like we still work the same amount of hours. It's like
crazy. Most animals hibernate.
Well, yeah, and it's like this is why the days are longer now.
Yeah.
Work longer now, work less in winter.
Yeah.
Be inside more, be warm more.
It makes perfect sense. Like, yeah, I would be willing to do that as a nation or as a world.
There used to be like seasonal jobs.
Yeah.
You know, people could live a whole year. They'd go and work at the seaside for the season, and then they could live for a year off
I'd
that.
be well up for doing that.
Like,
but I want to do that with illustrations, so I need to figure that out.
Yeah. But it's like now you need to have that calendar all year round. You need to have
fully blocked out, no matter what your mental state is. It's like go, do it all. Yeah, no. I would like to do 6 months a year and then spend the rest of the time in bed watching films.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Which is also getting ideas and being
of course,
inspired.
It feeds into it. Seeing mates, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it all helps, and you never know where ideas will come from either. So
absolutely, yeah, they come from the weirdest places.
Yeah,
mostly. Talking about doing things on strange objects, like a lot of the things that I do, I'll see a thing and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to do something for that. Like my dad gave me a petrol can, or he bought a petrol can, like a really old, beaten up, rusted thing. And so I was like, well, I'm going to buy one of them as well, because I've just got an idea to draw like a demon with a matchstick on it. And so I painted a demon with a matchstick on it, which is now like over there and over there. I've got like a print of it and a cut out thing of it that I painted on this petrol can, because I was like, I don't know, I just thought it was funny.
That's what it needs on it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, well, obviously that needs to be there. So they had to buy it and then sold it for £66.60 because I thought it was funny. And the guy was like, why are you selling it for this much? Literally, because I thought it was funny. It should have been way more, basically. But
yeah, but that's the best price, isn't it?
Yeah, 666.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to pay 666 quid, are you? So,
well, you could have done it as $9.99 and then gone.
Yeah. Turn it upside down.
So, coming out of COVID, I mean, what was it like? Well, maybe I'll combine the two. Sort of coming out of COVID, what were the kind of... When did you feel you were out? That's a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
But also, when did things sort of start coming back? Were people always here and they just started gradually spending more time? Or did you see people sort of start to drift back in?
Yeah.
Like, how was it?
I think it was more the type of work that was coming in changed. Because...
Instead of lots of little piecemeal things, it started to become bigger things again.
Definitely, yeah. Because like a lot of the bigger stuff shut down. The bigger jobs that I was potentially doing, like murals or things like that, that didn't really become a thing. It was more like... I noticed actually the type of work that I was getting during lockdown is the sort of things that's like the little things that companies, especially smaller independent companies, have always wanted to do but have never had the time to put into it.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, well, we've always wanted this thing illustrating for this thing that we don't really do that often, but now we've got the time, let's do it. So I didn't feel like work necessarily fully dried up. It was just, it shifted into the things that people didn't have time to do while COVID wasn't a thing. So when COVID sort of ended, it still felt weird after like a year or maybe even 2 years. It didn't feel like fully back, but I just started to notice like the types of work change. That sometimes the same clients were giving me, but often new clients coming in being like, we've seen the other stuff that you've done, like say through COVID, we want you to do this because now that we're back open, we want more people to come in because people are here again. Like doing the windows for shops or like a mural or like a logo or character that draws people's attention, like as they're walking by.
Yeah.
Because people are walking by again.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of thing that I noticed changed. But I've also always had like a bit of I think I had maybe 6 months of doing this full time. And I didn't really enjoy it because it's quite isolating and lonely.
Yeah.
And almost feels like your own COVID experience when you're doing something like this. So I really enjoy being around other people that are like-minded to me, doing something creative, whatever that is, even if it's working at a shop that sells creative art supplies, or now working in events, doing like things painted that go out, or going on site and doing all sorts of different things actually. But I just need that level of community, which that's probably the thing that I noticed went during lockdown. But that's why I set up a creative community with some friends actually, because I'd always need that.
Yeah.
It just worked out that we made a bit of money from it as well.
It's wild to me that, especially now with Leeds, that there isn't more, like there's loads of creative stuff going on, but there isn't more of a cohesive, like, I'll use film as the main thing.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, that course at Beckett's was really good. A bunch of filmmakers there, obviously talented people.
Yeah.
Why haven't we captured any of them?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't there films being made in Leeds? Why isn't there, the Film North run, the BFI Film North run, that mixer, which I think is like monthly or bi-monthly or something. It's not enough. There should be weekly stuff that's going on that you just turn up to in Leeds, and things would get made more because people would make those connections. And I think loads of that's missing.
Yeah, there's not really that random chance to use film, like say a producer to bump into a videographer, to bump into a director.
Yeah.
To then be like, oh, we should all do something actually.
And to be more imaginative with it as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, people will commission sort of, we need content for the website or whatever. And it's just like, you're just making the same corporate, boring, and that awful bloody music that's on everything. And
I did that. It was an explainer video, and I did a voiceover for it and put like the corporate music to it, and it paid quite well at the time. And I actually quite enjoyed the work. But then looking back at it, I'm like, God, I'm adding to the machine.
Yeah. I did a little thing for William Hill, and to be honest, that was the best job I've had, like paid job I've had.
Yeah, they always are.
I was getting paid to do an animation, and it was like, this is great.
Yeah, sweet.
But yeah, it was just a little corporate video and stuff. But it's like, still, I got to make a thing that was mine that I made, and it got used for something.
Yeah, cool.
So that's... Yeah, Leeds doesn't... We seem to make a fuss of it after the fact. We're kind of like, goth and punk and stuff, like, it was massive in Leeds and it's really important and it's a huge part of the city. Well, why didn't we do anything about that?
It was there.
Yeah, it's just like a few bands and stuff. It's like, why didn't we create anywhere for them to play until, the arena came, 20, 30 years too late or whatever. Right. It's great to have it here, but, it should have been there years ago. And I moaned for years about... so you know where the Hugo Boss shop is?
Yes.
That used to be the Duchess of York, and everybody played there. Like one of the last bands to play there was Muse. Nirvana played there. Right. Like everybody played there. And it became a Hugo Boss shop. They have now put a blue plaque on it, but for years I was like, look, they just tear working class history down. It's like, if it had been a ballet house or something, there'd be a blue plaque. But, popular music, oh no, we can't celebrate that. But they have now, so that's rectified.
Good. Yeah, there's a divide for sure. I don't know whether it's classist. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But there's some level of divide in Leeds at the moment. You can feel it. It's sort of like more commercial than it is independent. And I just love independence so much. And I feel like smaller businesses doing things off their own back is a thing. And they're trying really bloody hard in Leeds. But there's almost no help, which is crazy to me, because why not help the people that are already doing something so you don't really have to put any work in? Yeah. And then allow it to flourish that way. I don't.
Or if you're forcing artists and creators and stuff like Inkwell, E Street Arts. Yeah. I don't even know. Did they just move out of town? I can't remember what happened.
I can't remember the last... People like that used to come into Fred Alderson and have conversations all the time. And they were always sort of like, we don't know if this is going. We don't really know the future of this.
But like create other spaces because there's other parts of town that have reasonable buildings that aren't necessarily in use. Yeah. Create, incentives for it. Have the rate subsidised or low, or
Honestly.
like lock it in for something, because there's value in this. And this is where things that spin into bigger businesses come from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's like, you can't just expect everything to be huge commercial firms.
No. And it looks boring as well. Like, the look of like a creative space is quite nice.
Yeah.
And the idea of it is quite nice.
And a city like this as well, where it's all higgledy-piggledy and they're from all over the place. It's like, you need to, don't just knock it down and make everything glass.
Yeah. There's some really ugly buildings being popped up as well. There's some lovely ones.
Yeah,
but,
and I like some of the ugly buildings. Like, I like a big glass monstrosity occasionally, but you don't want just that.
Nah.
You know, we don't want to become London.
I think the reason why I moved to Leeds is because, do you know the Leeds Beckett, what's it called? City campus, Broadcasting Tower, the big rusty building.
Yeah.
That is the reason why I came to uni in Leeds. Because I was like, at the time, I had a Polo that I'd made the car bonnet rusty, and like lowered it and put like wheels on it and whatever. And I was like, because I had a rusty bonnet on the car that I drove up to Leeds to go to the interview in. I was like, I want to go there because it's rusty and it looks sick. And then I've been to a talk where the architect for that building spoke about like why he did everything. Really, really interesting. Did another building for Unite Students or something like that that's near Belgrave Music Hall. I really like that as well. I really like that architect. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I like the stuff that he does. And they're the sort of buildings that are adding to the city that make me feel like staying here is worth it.
It's like, I like the Nexus building as well.
Which one's that? I quite like that as well. Yeah.
And people, I can imagine a lot of people hate it, but it's like, no, that's quite cool.
Yeah, but then there's more like offices or student accommodation popping up, and I'm sort of like, there's so many potential opportunities for other things.
Well, it's like Wellington Place, not to slag it off too much, but it's like, it's good that there's stuff there and over there, and there's some cafes and bars and stuff in there, and they've made it nice around the, you know, the little museum for the hold lift. But also, it is like, you know, Canary Wharf or whatever as well, which, you know, Canary Wharf has its moments as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why it would be a shame if, say, this building that I'm in, Estuary Workshops, would have gone, because, I don't know, there's so much potential for things to come out of it that are different to just like flats that someone could live in, because there's so many creatives in here. And it's been bought by a company now that are going to sort of keep it the way it is for a few years at least. It seems a bit better. But like, for when we first found out from the council that we were going to be sort of kicked out, it was quite like, there was an uproar for a good reason, because
why?
Yeah, why?
What have we done? We haven't done anything apart from paying you money.
Building on the piece of paper. That's all it was. That's what it came down to. Sell it. Bye. Then they realised the repercussions of their actions, where there's all these people that are providing so much for the city, namely Leeds 2023. Loads of people in this building did stuff for that. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, literally a creative hub that's providing for the city, you want to get rid of. So, yeah, it's quite good that that's potentially not happening, at least for a few years. But why is that even a thing for the council in Leeds to be doing? Yeah. It seems crazy to me. But it's happening all over. It's not just this building. It's the city is under pressure for that. So.
Well, I think the pure speculation, but I think part of it is that the kind of, so I'm thinking of Hyde Park here. So Hyde Park for years, Hyde Park Picture House, was like, it was always on the verge of being closed down. Right. It was always like going to go out of business and this, that and the other.
Real shame if that.
And absolutely. And there was always campaigns to save it. Like Ken Loach was the patron for ages. And there was like every time it was on the verge, people would be like, no. And eventually the council bought it and they kind of brought it in-house to Leeds Heritage Theatres and so on.
And it's got lottery funded now, right?
It got lottery funded for the refurb and stuff, and they've made a real thing of it. And I think that's really good. Yeah. And it's a better place for it. It's had some investment in it, and now it's, I think it looks quite cool with
it's
awesome
sections that are old and then new.
Yeah.
And then now they've got new
made good use of the building, and they've put ramps in and made it accessible, and there's a little cafe in there. And it's like, but they've kept the whole character of the building, and they kept the lamppost in front.
Got cool branding.
But I think part of it is that they don't want to end up having to pay for everything, sort of thing, of like the whole kind of cultural industry is just subsidised. But as I say, that's pure speculation. I might just make that up.
Who knows?
But I think there's part of it is fear of like, oh, well, we're going to have to pay for it. But it's like, you could protect it without having to take it on. You could just say, actually, we appreciate this and we're going to support them staying in place.
Yeah, I don't understand how it all works and why they can't do that. Surely there's like certain loopholes and not loopholes, hurdles that they have to jump over.
Yeah.
And then there's always red tape. It's really annoying that there's always like...
But you're going to have to look at the money, aren't you? Like, what's the best for the building? What's going to increase revenue or increase, rents or taxes or whatever in the city?
Yeah. It's the sort of thing that's like...
And you won't have, you don't have this place doesn't have a portfolio proposal that's all, you don't have a slide deck that's going like, we add this many billions to the community and to this.
Although saying that, I think some people did figure out a way of putting a lot of that information together to propose to the council, or a potential investor that was coming in, which is amazing because I think we did something like a spreadsheet where everyone in the building filled out all their stuff. So we did figure it out between us all, and we had like some people leading it that were really, really good. Talking to, they talk to businesses all the time. Yeah. So
they can talk business language.
They can talk business language, essentially. That's what happened.
Yeah.
No, they did a really good job and found potential. Well, obviously it still got sold through the council, but I think we still had an impact in who got to buy it in some way. Yeah. Which is quite nice.
Yeah.
So,
Did you get any further, any government support or anything? Were you in business long enough to be kind of...
No, I don't think so.
So it was just purely whatever work you could get.
Which is quite daunting. I think I was maybe I was working for like a year or something like that officially. So maybe I could have, but no, it was basically, I got offered furlough for the job at Fred Aldous that I was doing. But to be honest, I'm the type of person that quite likes to keep busy, and having that thing to go out of the house and do was quite beneficial for me at the time. I don't know what I would have done if I was just locked in.
Have you worked from home, or do you ever work from home?
I have.
Just rather not?
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I like, it makes it easier to have that separation of work and life.
Yeah.
Because for me, as I sort of said, the lines are very blurred. If I allow for it to happen, there's no end.
Yeah.
So I really have to try and like have that separation as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Because it just won't end. I'll just keep doing stuff. And I'll see no one.
Furiously creating art and throwing it out a window.
Or like, it would go the other way, which I had like a bit of a blowout from that, because I was doing exactly that for so long. And then like, say a year ago, I think I reached like breaking point where I was like, nah, I'm just going to go out all the time instead.
Yeah, enough of this now.
Which is mad, because like I almost had like 5 years straight of just working.
I know that feeling exactly. I'm film person, film Maddie sort of person.
Yeah.
And it's just died for me. Like I still, I'll go and watch something and I can still love it but I just don't watch things on my own anymore.
Yeah, I understand.
And I'm kind of like, why don't I? And when I do, I'm like, oh, I really enjoyed that. I like to spend 2 hours in an entirely different world.
Yeah.
Why don't I do that more? And it's just, I've fallen out of the habit. I've fallen out of the ritual as well because, it's really difficult to take a DVD out of a case and put it in a player.
Of course it is. God, it's so hard.
It's much easier to scroll through things you don't want to watch going, this is all shit.
Yeah. God, that's so bloody true. No, like literally, like, when you were saying that, I was like, I got the feeling of like, I totally understand what you mean, because it's so hard to sort of bring yourself back to do that thing that you've sort of got that negative, even slightly negative emotion about that you used to love so much, because the feeling is not quite the same. So I'm like, just because the feeling's slightly off, I'm like, no, I don't want to do it.
It's ruined now, spoiled.
I don't get quite the same feeling from it. So I'm no longer going to do that. But no, fortunately for me, like drawing, like I was saying before, has really sort of come back. I've started going like life drawing every Monday. I do sketches just for fun again, because for so long it was like doing this for a client or doing this for whatever purpose and reason, not just for the sake of like playing and having fun, which is really, really important. Like just randomly like allowing your brain to splurge out onto a page, like a blank page, is so good. It's like, because it's like a form of like diary entries, but visually.
Yeah.
Like you just, whatever you're thinking of, you just do it, and then it turns into all these other things, and then from there you'd maybe create something, but who knows, it doesn't even have to. That's what I find really fun at the moment, again, because I lost that for so long.
I mean, so I want to so I'm thinking here of, so I've done loads of admin work, I've done loads of like abstract stuff on a computer, moving bits of data around, and you kind of like, what is this? Have you watched any of Severance? Have you seen Severance?
No, I need to watch that.
So there's a thing in there where they talk about the work is mysterious and important.
Because they don't know what it is outside
because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You just have this thing to do, and you're like, it's really important, it makes the whole thing run, and you're like...
Yeah, the thing, yeah.
Is it? Because I feel like you wouldn't notice if I wasn't in this chair.
Yeah.
So that direct... I mean, it like really literally hands-on, where you're literally seeing the thing that you're working on creating as you create it.
Yeah.
I haven't really got a question here, but I want you to talk about that relationship. So maybe within a context of, it's about, I suppose the shop work of, you're helping customers, and you're doing work, you're advising and doing customer service and retail and so on, which is a little bit abstract, but you're still kind of directly working with people.
Yeah.
But is that vitally important to the work? Would you always have to work in something in that field? Like if you weren't doing painting and creating and illustrating, would you have to be physically making something or building something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick answer, yes, absolutely. Yeah. I've tried to do that whole abstract sort of thing, and the closest I got was churning out animations. That was sort of like the closest to, like, say, an office job that I've done, but I've never done it because it does not agree with me whatsoever. I'm very much like a visual...
You're like, what's the point of this?
Yeah. I'm like, why am I sitting here? Like, I don't want to be here, so...
I should be doing something.
Yeah.
Not that.
Like,
something.
I'm not doing anything here. Like, I'm literally just sitting down, touching a keyboard every now and then.
Moving this column to that column.
Nah, forget that. No, it's absolutely that. It feels so important for me to, in some way, be practical and hands-on. Like my dad's a builder, and I've worked with him building. I did it for a year just after lockdown, actually, because I wanted to find a way to be even more practical and hands-on. So I did that for a bit, and it was really beneficial in terms of what I do now, because I brought that into my work where I create more physical things, because before that I was a lot of like sitting, illustrating for so long, then turning that on a computer into a design, then turning it into a vector, then, sending it out to clients, whatever. And then I was like, I want to make more things, and I want to make bigger things, and I want to do stuff with my bloody hands. So yeah, I didn't realise how important that was to me, but through that work where it's intensely hands-on, I was like, yeah, there's something here. It's not this, but I do want to do something with my hands. So that was, then turned into painting objects, doing things onto things, being more physical with the designs that I'm doing, because it feels right. And then it also feels like an illustration in a sketchbook could stay there forever and do nothing. An illustration that then goes onto Instagram could stay there and do nothing. But a design or illustration that you've created that goes onto something and it's functional feels like it's providing something that the rest didn't. So that's what I quite enjoy about doing the work that I do. It's because it's a physical, tangible thing that has function. Like the snowboard that we're talking about that I've just done. It's not only something that could potentially hang on a wall, but I'm very tempted to attach bindings to it and create a video where I snowboard. So I'm like, and then that would be the very process of adding the bindings already like scratches all the paint and takes does certain things to it. And I'm like, if I get that done, then that sounds more fun than selling it. Like going down a slope with the thing that I've just painted, creating content based on that. I don't know. It just sounds way more fun because it's like a practical thing, going out and doing something. Yeah, that's what I love.
Yeah, I've got to mention it because I've only just found him recently. Are you familiar with Bobby Fingers?
Bobby Fingers, no.
On YouTube.
Something I should watch.
Yeah, I've only watched like 3 or 4 of the videos, but he does these dioramas.
Right.
So
another thing that I really want to
real detail. So the first one I watched was Mel Gibson getting arrested. And he's like, so I start off, he's Irish. I'm not going to do the accent.
Yep.
And so he makes this wet clay mould of Mel Gibson's face in full scale so that he can put it into the computer and then 3D print it small.
Cool.
And so he builds this whole diorama, and then he's like telling you various things, and he's telling you stuff about the arrest and like what was happening there.
This guy.
You might have seen, he does a whole bunch of these. Like he'll start with the diorama of something, and then he goes off on all these like various tangents.
I'm certain I've seen.
And then he buries it. It's like you were talking about the cache searches before. He buries it somewhere, and then he leaves the coordinates in the video, and then his patrons dig them up, sort of thing. And I've not. It's very funny, but I've not seen enough to be kind of like fully, like I'm not entirely sure where he's coming from and how much of it is a piss take.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it sounds like a lot of it is.
But it's amazing. Like he did one with Fabio, of a goose hitting Fabio in the face on the roller coaster. And he's like, and I went and got one of the guys from Mythbusters to build this cannon to fire a ballistic goose into a model of Fabio's
Probably
face.
Adam Savage, you love stuff like that. Yeah. That's mint.
Yeah.
But I love stuff like that because I like, and that's another thing that I want to introduce a little bit more of, because outside of the stuff that I do, I feel like the content I create is quite serious, whereas the reality is I'm quite silly. The stories that I put on Instagram can be quite silly, but then the content's like it feels moody, and I don't want it to be moody. I want it to be stupid. So like, this is where I'm like, well, I just painted this snowboard. Now I'm going to trash it because I feel like having fun on a slope with it. That's the sort of like level of content that I want to be doing. So I'm like, I could sell it. I don't think I want to. I think I want to destroy it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you could sell it for even more after it's been in a bit of stupid content.
Very true, very true. Yeah.
It's like, you buy this that I used, I'm going to charge you premium for it because it was in a video.
Yeah.
And I'll sign it for you.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it sounds great. But I might absolutely do that. So yeah, you never know. It might be up for auction or some crap.
So let's do social media because we're in that area anyway. So I'm thinking maybe you have to do more social media, or maybe you feel you have to do more social media because of the area that you're working in than you perhaps would. But I talk about it because it feels like more and more people have to do social media in their work, even if it's not directly their work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think of like, staff in bars and so on,
which
to a degree is kind of like, it's something to do when you're bored, but also it's like, well, now I'm this is another part of my job, is it?
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, I'm an actor now. You can't afford to pay for an actor to come in, but I have to do it, do I?
But then it also makes it personable to the place. So
and it makes it a bit more fun, and it's kind of So it swings and roundabouts. But do you have to spend a lot of time on it? Do you have to spend too much time on it? Do you feel you get the value back from the time that you spend on it?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, I'd say so. Especially before, like not so. I've dipped off quite a lot with it recently because I've been trying to just get stuck in with more of the work side of what I've been doing, which has been good. Like as you said, it is sort of a thing that you do when you're bored.
Yeah.
So then you do it, and then you're like, oh, I'm busy now because people have seen this and now they want something. I'm not going to be able to do the thing that then provides the thing to become a thing.
Yeah.
Which is silly because I'm like, I try and make myself more bored to be able to do that sort of thing, or at least a lot of time for the boredom to happen.
Yeah.
Where I create silly content or do whatever because it is really beneficial. Yeah. I do see the benefit from it because I get jobs through Instagram. I get more people seeing my work, which then turns into conversations that then people contact me and are like, oh, they told me about this thing that you did and they follow you on Instagram or, whatever. It's really weird that you don't know where stuff's coming in from. Just loads of stuff has just come through it. So I am very grateful for it. But I definitely spend far too much time on it because in my head, I'm like, well, it's work and it's part of the work.
Yeah.
And I need to be on it and I need to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
But then all I'm doing is bloody scrolling through memes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing? This isn't helping, but it's quite funny. So maybe it's feeding into something. And then I'm like, no, that'll make me more silly for the videos that I want to do. Then I carry on scrolling. And I'm like, I just found my way into a wormhole. I can't get out of it because I can constantly like back up the reason why I'm on it. So it's silly, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like fruities, you know, and it's the same design, isn't it? So it's like just addictive flashing lights and buttons and noise. And
I'm spending loads of money, but one day it will give me loads of money. So,
well, no, I'm just being entertained with like lights and flashing and pressing.
Well, that means there's levels to it as well, though, right? Like, yes to the lights, but then you also think, one day I'll make money from it.
Well, we think we're really like complicated, civilized beings with all these things, and then you're just like,
it's a lie. Oh, nice, funny video. Or like flashing light. I don't know, like something shiny.
So, is there particular channels that you work in, or do you have to be across them all, or is it just like I'm visual, so it's Instagram? Or?
I'm mostly because I'm visual. It's Instagram.
Yeah.
I tried TikTok. I don't like it. Although saying that, like I got a lot of views. It was just like
that'd be a good place to talk about process, though.
Yeah,
TikTok.
definitely would. And that's the sort of thing that I was doing on TikTok as well. And there's just certain things that I don't like about it, like the sort of people that were engaging with me on TikTok versus the sort of people that were engaging with me on Instagram.
Right, yeah.
It felt more
aggressive.
No, not even necessarily aggressive. Just like fake, I suppose, or like the algorithm's weird. So like all of these. Like loads of kids would be like liking the stuff that I'm doing instead of like peers or like similar-minded people, which I prefer. I understand that the views come from like whoever's on it.
Yeah.
But whereas I want to be more like I'd rather have, say, a following of 100 people that are engaging than a following of 1,000 people that aren't.
Yeah. It's not how many, it's who, isn't it?
It's who, absolutely, yeah. And the reason why I've gotten work from this sort of from the Instagram side of it is because of who it is. Like, I understand that people, once you get to a certain level of viewing, then those people start to creep through on the platforms like TikTok or doing reels in certain ways. But
they're just looking to maximize the content, whereas...
Absolutely, yeah. I like engaging with people more so than just having loads of views with no real substance to it. So yeah, I mostly go on Instagram. I should try and be more present on LinkedIn. I'm not as good at that as what I would hope to be, but that's like more business connections.
I think you could do really well in there now, to be honest. And especially if I, nip along to one of the networking things or up to the Santander Work Cafe.
Yeah.
Maybe put some cards in or something. But yeah, because there's a lot of business people on there that are always looking for business services and stuff. And if you've worked in that area already and you can put a few pieces of work up and just I think it'll hit with people.
Yeah, I keep being told to do it, so I just need to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good, like, networking possibility, isn't it?
Yeah. And especially once you start hitting a sort of groove of, connecting into people that are working in the city in various things, because once they know you, they'll recommend you to other people.
Absolutely. And that's a way that I've sort of been getting a lot of the work is through networking, through talking to people. But
if they can reach you straight away on LinkedIn.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So I should do that. That'll be a takeaway for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, not many. I mean, Facebook is just connected to Instagram, so it's sort of like by proxy, I'm also using Facebook.
Yeah.
And a lot of views randomly come through Facebook on my reels and things like that. So yeah, it's a strange, but it works. So
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, mostly Instagram, and it generally does help.
Yeah.
It's just I need to stop scrolling on it.
Posts only.
Yeah. Like someone says that it's like post dump and dip or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Like you post and then you go.
Yeah, well, I think as well, the commenting on other people's stuff thing is good and is definitely worth doing. But yeah, it's that sort of, I think you need to set a timer or something.
Yeah, no,
the alarm goes off, I'm out now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like 3 hours gone and you've said lots of things you regret.
Yeah. I don't know, it's mostly loving things. I do like it quite a lot. I mean, when you were just saying that, a feeling of what I recently felt towards Instagram came up, which was for so long I'd taken a break from it, not just because I was working a lot. And then when I came back to it again and I started posting more regularly, it felt like people remembered that I exist.
Yeah.
Which is really strange.
Yeah.
Because it's like just people that I've met through like networking or just mates from Leeds that I just haven't had time to speak to, or even back home or, whatever. People started messaging me and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that if I post regularly, it's almost like I'm here.
Yeah.
Which is a weird feeling to have because it's like you don't want to be like trapped in that if I don't post then I don't exist sort of.
Well, yeah, the flip side is you spend your whole time posting, not doing any work. And
exactly,
you feel like you're doing loads of stuff because all these posts are happening and you're getting engagement and it's kind of like...
getting like a confirmation bias from people.
And it's
that
like,
you're
what are you actually doing there, apart from posting?
Yeah, I'm like editing things and making things look good, making myself look productive.
Yeah, I'm having another meeting here that I've posted about.
Yeah.
Did you make any money from it?
Yeah, no. It's so silly because it's like the thing, it's like it feels very good and productive to do these things because it's more engaging, but then there's no short-term benefit to it. But then because you're doing these things, you don't know who's talking about you and potentially talking to the right person who then gets in contact with you a year down the line. I mean, this might not happen. This is just something that's happened to me quite regularly, but it's not like the formula. But you don't know that thing's not working as well, which is, then I'm like, I don't know, you don't know what to do.
Well, that's it. You do put a lot of time and a lot of energy into posts, and it's like not every one of these work, but they all kind of accumulate to something to a degree.
Yes.
And it's like, how much time should you put in? I was talking to my guest yesterday, sort of saying, we were talking about Twitter, and there's sort of, losing that, and he's like, built up lots of followers on there, and I put lots of time into it, and it feels like it's something that's yours, but ultimately it's not.
It's not.
And it could change in any second. So it's like those things that we're trained, especially when you're reading about stuff. If you're starting a business, they're always like, likes and follows and stuff. And it's like you don't want likes and follows.
Yeah,
they want likes and follows.
Absolutely.
The social media industry wants.
It comes down to the classic thing of like, if it's free, you're the product.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like that a lot of the time when using it. Like I've been putting off building, for a while I had a website and was keeping on top of that. But when it ran out, I was sort of like, I don't need a website. I've got Instagram, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, oh no, I need to take back some level of control because like you say, it could be just stripped away. Or like it doesn't belong to me. I think there's a clause in the Instagram terms and conditions.
Yeah, what you're posting is like their copyright.
Yeah, they own it.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I doing this?
But
it's frustrating that there's such a community on it that I've built that it feels somewhat connected to me. But I suppose that's like any platform that builds a community. It's not really yours. But
it's also like an email mailing list as well, though. It's like, this is my email newsletter. And it's like, it's a great resource for you.
Yeah.
But most of the time, most people aren't reading them, aren't engaging with them. But it's there and it reminds them and it's something that they have to delete. And even when they're deleting it or ignoring it, they're seeing something.
But even for the person creating the newsletter, I feel like it's a good exercise. Like say creating content mostly when those times of boredom hit. I think maintaining that like level of, what would you call it? Just getting on with something, doing something, putting something out. It then makes it even more rewarding when something else comes along, even if it's like randomly, because it feels like you've earned it, because somehow you're playing into the system of I'm making things, I'm doing things, I'm providing some level of service. Then someone randomly messages you like, yes, I'm doing the right thing. Which is quite like, it's a weird thing to think because you're not doing anything to like, that would have maybe happened regardless of what you're doing. But I feel like filling that time wisely, even say, I'm using social media as an example, but going and creating a personal project or drawing or, you know, whatever the sort of thing is, I feel like it's really beneficial for you to do something and fill the time and fill the gap so that, yeah, when things come along, it doesn't feel like, because imposter syndrome is such a thing, you don't want to feel like you've not deserved it or not earned it. It feels more rewarding that way.
Yeah, but at the same time, you also want to post something and for it to become massive and you to make millions off it.
Of course you do.
Like, well, we know it's not going to happen, but also secretly you're like, yes, it will.
I know. Every time I'm doing it, I'm like, this is the one that's going to get me 1 million views. I'm like, to be fair, it's so stupid. The one video that's done the best out of all of the ones that I've done, like most of them get like standard like 50 likes or something like that, whatever. This one that I did, it's the stupidest video. It's just me peeling a bit of tape off of something. I think it got 1 million views and like I don't know how many, like lots of likes. I'm like, I'm just peeling bloody tape.
It's the satisfaction though, isn't it? It's like the putting the spoon really through the coffee top. That kind of thing. Of just like, and it's things that we all like. It's like, I just pull
and
this.
It's quick. It's like it's a short video that has ASMR. It looks satisfying. I understand. I get it. I know how it works. It's just frustrating.
Just throw those things into your other video.
I know.
But you just don't think of it, do you? When you're thinking of doing a post, you're like, oh, what do I even do? Like, what shall I make it?
Yeah. I feel like what I need to start doing is, because I've been doing quite a lot of minute-long videos that are like edited, like long, I say long form, it's only a minute, but like it feels like a story, especially because it's a series and like continuation of the same thing. What I need to do on the same day is post that, but then post a bit of it that's just like a brush stroke or something like that. That's like, right, I've done the thing that I want, and then here you go, there's your shit that you're going to like loads.
Here's the chum for the masses.
What I regard as the chum, but for some reason that's what you fucking want. Like,
well, you know, it's just a moment of pleasure that you can hit like on.
Literally. And if you want to feel actually satisfied, then here's the proper thing.
I think one of the best sort of Instagram reels I've ever seen was this one. It was a guy on a kid's swing who stood on it and he's swinging backwards and forwards. And they told you, you know, they basically told you what was going to happen. It's like the thing that you always wanted to do as a kid and go over the top.
Sweet, yeah.
And you know it's coming, but he takes ages building up to it. And you want to watch the whole thing because you want to wait for that moment where he does it. Where you can go, yay! No, it does.
Oh, okay.
and because if it didn't, you'd just be furious.
But you
know that's coming and the satisfaction, you know you're going to get that satisfaction.
Yeah.
Yes, because you're happy for him as well.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah. There you go. Because I want to do that.
Yeah.
But you've done it.
It's like, yes,
so
it can be done.
It vicariously through you. That's fantastic, yeah. So I might make content like that then.
Yeah.
The thing that you've always wanted to do, I'm going to do it because you can't right now. So
you know what? Exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to fall on this banana skin. You're going to enjoy it.
Perfect.
One final question on this area. Do you think, like, could you do the work without the social media? If you left it entirely, would you get enough work?
Yeah, I feel like I'm adaptive enough to do that.
Yeah. Are you quite proactive in finding work as well?
Yeah, I have been. Not so much right now because the sort of part-time work that I've got at the moment allows for me to, I'm sort of taking a bit of a break from pushing too much. With my own practice, I'm still taking on work, but I'm taking on sort of like drips of what I used to because I want to develop something a bit more. I just want to change a little bit. I want to focus more on like personal projects and do sort of more stuff for myself rather than for clients because it feels more fun at the moment. Mm-hmm. But no, like say I do quite well, say in a pinch or in like a time of need. Like I remember a year ago or something like that, I was like, maybe 2 years ago actually, I was like really struggling to find some work to do. And I think what I ended up doing was creating a a list of all of the potential clients that I want to work for. I think it was like 100 to 200 people, emailed like every single one of them pretty much. I think maybe 3 people got back to me with, we would like to work with you, but right now we're not looking for anything. I think maybe one person got back to me and actually provided work. But during that time, some of the people that I'd done, like networked with a year ago, sort of came back. Yeah. So it's like you do that sort of thing to expect work in like 6 months to a year.
Yeah, it takes so much time. Mental. Yeah.
But because I'd done it previously, those ones were starting to get back to me at the time when I was doing the other thing. So I was like, you know, thankfully I do this process like every so often. It's starting to provide like actual, like I'm getting work from it, which is really good.
Yeah.
So I think if there wasn't the Instagram element of here's my work, give me more money and work so I can continue to live and do the things that I want to do, I would find another way of shoving my work in people's faces, essentially.
Yeah.
I've got ideas for it. If anything, I want Instagram to stop so that I can do the other ideas that I want to do. Because I want to mail like, they're called mailers usually, and like some people do like screen printed leaflets or like printed out like portfolios and things like that. I really want to get like what looks like a pizza box and deliver it to someone's like an office or like a agency or whatever, and then they're like really confused why a pizza box that's been delivered through the post has come to them, and then they open it and it's like got like goodies and stuff of all of the things that I do. Please no one steal that if they're listening, because I really want to do it.
We can cut it out.
It's fine, leave it in if you want, but I just don't want anyone to do it. Hopefully they have honour. But no, I really want to do that. So if anything, like I like adapting to certain situations. So if Instagram wasn't a thing, I'd just find a new way to adapt. So that would be fine. I would just lose a bit of a community, but again, then I'd find a new way of forming a community. No, I don't think it's the worst thing. I think it might be a beneficial thing, if anything, if it went. Because I'd find a new way to exist.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If you in the right place, if you're positioned right, you know that there's kind of always work.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. But it's that...
I mean, Instagram's not been around for that long.
No.
There's been work before that.
Yeah.
So people would, you know, staple something to a lamppost or chuck something under someone's door or just go out and have a conversation with someone. So there's way more avenues to get work than just posting something on Instagram. Yeah. If anything, that's like one of the worst ones to do.
Because everybody's doing that.
Yeah, everyone is doing it. It's oversaturated. But also, like, you're posting something expecting something back.
Yeah.
Because you're not really doing anything or actually forming a dialogue with someone. But
it's like, as all of these things become more common and easy, all of the other stuff becomes rarer and more valuable. So I've heard people sort of saying, you know, like, I got this job because I wrote a letter to the person, and nobody writes letters anymore. So the top person opened it and read it, and then I got a job because it was like, oh, well, that's showing, you know, I forgot the word. Initiative. Yeah. Tell I've not been in an office for ages.
You've not got any buzzwords anymore. No, I fully agree. Like, I remember not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago now, there was sort of like a creative sort of woodwork shop that I wanted to do some work for. They posted something on Instagram saying like, email us for our positions doing this, blah, 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 freelance work essentially, getting things off of a CNC and then bench joinery, sort of like putting it all into shape and then sending it out to the clients or whatever it was. I really wanted to do it because I wanted to be more hands-on. So I emailed them, didn't get a response, and was like, I'm just going to phone them. Called them up, was like, yeah, when are you free? I'll come in and do what, like, I'll just come in and say hello. Did that, and they were like, yeah, come in on Monday or whatever it was. Because that level of initiative, people just don't have. Like, people just send an email and then they're like waiting, twiddling their thumbs, like, oh, they didn't email me back. Best try another thing, email. Oh, they didn't email me back. It's like, I just called them up and said I'm coming in. And it's almost like, oh, right, yeah, come in on this day. Like, you know. It worked.
Well, yeah, and people buy from people.
Yeah.
They don't buy from emails.
No, they don't.
And more and more we're starting to find that they don't buy online.
No, yeah. Which is good.
It is good. To a degree.
Yeah.
So let's do Brexit. I don't know. So Brexit for some people, it's a bit close to COVID. Mm-hmm. So some people, it's kind of like, well, I can't really tell, to be honest.
Yeah.
But has there been any change in your work since we have Brexited? Has it changed anything for you?
It's a difficult one to like try and put your finger on, because it's such a lengthy process that it's just been a shambles from start to finish. I don't bloody know why it's happened or what's going on. I'm lost. I'm confused.
But I was saying to the guests yesterday, you think back to 2015. So that's the election before.
Yeah.
The election, the referendum.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even a hashtag.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
So 10 years ago, it wasn't even an idea, and now it's done.
And I remember I think a few months apart, it was like the referendum, Brexit, and then I think Donald Trump got in as president.
2016.
And I was like, oh, fuck, this is a shit year.
All the celebrities died.
Yeah. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, I think, did we lose Alan Rickman that year, I think?
Yeah.
And anyway.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't really put my finger on anything apart from the sort of things that I've noticed, which is, it seems like because of, say, Brexit and loads of other contributing factors, like the cost of living crisis, people just generally don't want to spend a lot of money on things. That's what I've sort of realised. I mean, that might not be the case with some people because maybe the clients operate differently or, whatever, but with independents, it seems like they felt like the crunch or the pinch of not having as much of a budget as they would like. So people like myself coming in, we always sort of get like, not bartered down or like, it's
people are always saying it's too expensive.
It's too expensive, which is like for the service that I offer, it's quite reasonably priced actually.
Yeah. Like materials cost my time.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I've probably noticed the most.
I think it's to do, people are used to just press thing appears.
Yeah.
It's not the entirety of it, but some of it is that, and it's the invisibility of the work. It's like we know, and because loads of people are self-employed now, they know that like someone has to do this, has costs, has to pay for themselves, has to earn something for their expertise and
have a space to do it.
Yeah. So all of those costs around it. So people have to get paid, and they have to get paid enough to live and pay for stuff. But then at the same time,
you have to factor in the fact that
you've got to pay that off.
Yeah.
And you're like, that, it costs so much for a person to live, but still at the same time, you want to get this for nothing.
Yeah.
But you want to support artists and you want to support independence.
And you want a high quality end product as well that you can show off. So why don't you want to pay for it? And this thing is going to last years.
Yeah. And it's specially made for you.
Yeah. And it's not like when you extrapolate it and turn it into like, say if I was to, the usage that someone would get out of something, and I have to sometimes explain this, the usage that someone would get out of something like, say, a character or a logo, for me to come in and do this for X amount for 3 or 4 days, whatever it is, versus the amount of time that it's going to be used, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It pays for itself.
If I did this on a like website basis where you had to pay a monthly subscription for this, you would be paying far more.
Yeah.
It would seem cheaper.
Yeah.
It would seem like, I only paid £2 a month for this.
Yeah.
Yes, forever.
Yeah.
Forever and ever. For a billion years, you will be paying this.
Yeah. I'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah. Like, you could write the contract. Loads of people don't read them.
Well, because, what's it called? I've forgotten the word for it. But where you essentially allow someone to use licensing, like a licensing agreement, where you allow someone to use, because essentially anything that I create is still owned by me. It's just I license it to you and you use it for whatever purposes that we agree to in a contract. I just always happen to put like 20 years or something like that on it. But yeah, I could just put indefinitely, as long as you pay me this amount every bloody month, every year, whatever. Yeah, I don't think they'd bite.
Well, I don't know. Maybe everyone's going to move to that model of just you just pay for it. You don't pay a full price for it. You just pay for it forever.
Yeah. I mean, there's a guy, is it David Cho? Is that his name? There was a guy that did a mural in the Facebook offices when Facebook first started. And I think he spoke to Mark Zuckerberg about like how to be paid. He was like, do you want this now? Or do you want shares in the company? It was a really small company at the time. It was like, oh, I'll just go for the shares. It doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. I think he got a gig doing something for Star Wars, and he was like, I don't want the money for that. I got this. Like, and the guy, John Favreau, was like, you're the first person to turn down money from Disney, which is so stupid. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's how I should go about it. Can I have shares in your company, please? Like, that's how I want to be paid from now on.
Yeah. Just exclusively work with startups and hope that one of them hits big.
Yeah. But also make no money up until that point.
Yeah. I mean, we could go into areas if I sort of you plan further down the road, but I'll move us along a bit. So we'll do climate change. So I asked this for a number of reasons, but what I want to know again is how it affects your work. Is it part of your work? Is it something you think about in your work? Or is it, and if it is it something that you kind of like designed into your working? Or is it an expense that you would like to have later down the line when you could afford to go, let's do an audit of this and see how much I'm spending and where I can save things?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm totally honest, I wish it was more present in the work that I created. It will create right now, because there's certain things that I have to do that, like wrapping something up in layers of plastic to then go out, and then I'm like, oh, that plastic, it's never really going to get recycled.
It's low level painful, isn't it? It's kind of like you're ignoring it, but also you're like, oh, this is awful.
It's like constantly present. There's moments where I've forgotten about it, and I'm like, the consumerist sort of side has like got to me, and I'm like, no, I must remember the damage that I'm doing. I wish it was more present in that sense, and I feel like, yes, it's on us as the sort of consumer and the buyer of these plastics that we wrap things in or do whatever with and ship things out. And
but if they weren't made, we wouldn't buy them.
Yeah, exactly. But there's many reasons why they are being made, and the plastics things is not good in terms of like legislation and stuff. But anyway, most things don't seem to get recycled, which sucks. But yeah, I have to find ways of turning it into like a positive, or find positives through what's going on with the world. I like to paint on things that already exist. I don't like to buy, like, say with like random objects of things. Like, I don't like to go out and buy a canvas. I'd like to be given things by, like the snowboard, to mention it again because it's so present, was given to me by someone to paint because they'd finished with it, they'd got what they needed from it, and then now it can be turned into a piece of art. I like that idea of reusing things. And then it's also a bit more of a conversation where it's like, I got passed this down to do this, and then look, see what I did with the thing that you gave me. But yeah, that's just a byproduct. But I like finding objects and painting on them because it feels more eco-friendly in a way, because there's less of a chain, less of a process to it, and I get to turn it into something nice.
Well, you're giving something a new lease of life.
Exactly, yeah. Instead of just going to, like, say, landfill or whatever. But then also through that, I quite like to have a lot of my subject matter in the work that I create is through, like, nature. It's like very abstracted plant life, and part of that is to do with like where I've grown up, which is sort of in the heart of the national forest, like the very centre of the country in the Midlands. That's a lot to do with it because I sort of grew up around a lot of nature and plant life and trees and things like that. But another side of it is my care for the planet and how much I want to represent in built up areas like cities. I want to find a way of introducing that plant life in a language that is more understandable in those environments. So extrapolating shapes and forms from plants and turning them into, say, like heavily designed sort of abstract shapes that still identify that there's a form of like a flower, but in a language that's like design focused, so that can be turned into a mural or blown up or painted on a bloody snowboard. But yeah, I really enjoy finding a way of still introducing like the environment or like nature into my work. That's the way that I sort of do it.
That well, you've said that like it's kind of a half-formed thought, but I don't think it is. I think it's a fully formed thought.
Oh yeah, it's good.
I think that I agree with that, and it's the whole thing because I hate this narrative of, you know, because you see these people that are going off grid or whatever, and like the amount of times it's like, oh well, I worked in the city for 5 years, and it was just the rat race, and I hated it. I had to get out. It's like
you're leaving the problem to someone else.
So you go there, you go to the belly of the beast. You work there, you make your money, and then you bugger off to the countryside. And then everything's going to be eco here. Yeah, exactly.
To get what you want.
And then you go and gentrify the countryside. And it's like, regenerate the city, bring wildlife into here, make this wild. These are biodiversity havens now. Like, you know, let's bring the stuff in here. I mean, we've got 2 active open farms in this city. So it's like, more stuff happening here. Don't run off to the countryside. You know, build your commune right in the heart of the city with a tree growing.
It could so bloody work as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of interesting things that I see that could be brought to the city, like a lot of living walls and finding ways, like certain cities like have spaces where there's like more trees and plant life. And recently, what have they done? They're turning one of the viaducts into like a park.
That looks really cool.
Like loads of really interesting things that are happening. And I'm like, absolutely. Like, Leeds needs more trees.
And keep it going back to Wellington Place again. It might even be that bit of the viaduct there where they've done the park.
Right,
It probably is there because I've not been to it yet. But it's like, you know, there's plenty of places in the world that would just knock that down. It's like, no, it's a weird bit of architecture and like, let's use it and let's keep it. It
and
adds
it's also
character.
like having an elevated space allows for you to have stuff on there, but then also stuff here. So like, why knock it down? Why not just utilize the levels? It seems strange for people to do that. And it's also like I think there's beauty in like allowing nature to take over something man-made like that.
I mean, derelict stuff is always appealing, isn't it? And like old run-down mills and stuff, which obviously this city's full of. But it's like, these are fascinating, you know, like what used to happen in here. Have you been up to the old Burton building?
No.
So there's a supermarket up there.
Menswear, that one.
So that was the largest factory in Europe, I think, at the time when it was built.
There's who is it that does the patterned fabric, like almost tartan? Is it Burberry? Is that out there as well?
Burberry is Leeds. They might have been up there at one point.
I think
they're around the corner now.
Right, okay.
But there's Surplus to Purpose, which is like it's like a cheap supermarket where they recover food that the supermarkets are throwing away, but they're still good. Like super cheap. So that's up on the site. It's on Torrey Road. Worth going up to have a look.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the old Burton building's there, and it's massive.
Yeah.
And then they want to build houses on it and all this rubbish. And it's like, no, that should be a giant workshop, like fabrication place so with cool. like decentralized printing and all sorts of experiments in like new sort of an incubator for business, but also create, like, you could build a whole thing. You could put housing in there and shops in there and make it sort of like, so down under the railway, they used to have this thing called the Dark Arches, which is where all the like crusty shops and like crystal shops and goth shops and stuff were down there. And that was cool. But like that on a massive scale.
That'd be cool.
It would be amazing. And, you know, you could put a whole park around it, have a, good bus service going to it, have this whole sort of, economic hub right next to Hare Hills, out of the city.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Is anyone talking about that?
No.
Apart from you there. That should so become a thing. I don't know how you would even... Maybe write
it's putting together. Yeah, I mean, you need people who are really good at generating funds and fundraising and just getting stuff together.
Yeah, that's one of the difficult parts. Like, because funding's there and there's loads of it about, which is what we were trying to figure out with the building. And also, like, loads of independent practices, like there's just funding everywhere. It's just how to get it. You just have to find a way of speaking that language. So, I don't know how. Is there anyone that can translate that idea into?
No, I just need millions and millions of pounds,
Obviously,
and then I can do loads of things.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I want to have a geothermal greenhouse in the city as well,
That'd
so
be
that we
cool.
can grow tropical fruit and veg here.
Yeah, almost like the Eden Project.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I mean, they can do it in Iceland. We can do it here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Leeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Not London. We don't need it in London. They won't
No,
appreciate
that's going to sink anyway. There's no point putting anything there.
We'll just have it here.
So anything else you want to say on climate change before we move on?
No, because frustratingly, I try and do as much as I can, but essentially wish that I could do more. There was a while ago that I set up a company, like a clothing company. Apparently, I just set things up because I'm bored. I set up a clothing company with an ex-girlfriend called Need Less, which didn't work out in the end, but we did do quite a few things. Like we were trying to make water-based screen printed bamboo t-shirts, and then also using old fabrics and redesign them and turn them into new clothes, create designs, and just generally use old. I think I got loads of old tiles and turn them into coasters and things like that.
Yeah,
just another way of trying to reuse things and then repurpose it into something else. But it's just one of those battles that starts to get depressing the more you look into it.
It's an awkward thing. Yeah, it's too big an area to go into.
I don't think it's on the people. I think it's on the companies.
But it's also on the system.
It's
as
on
well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the whole thing of,
if we stopped buying it, then they would stop providing it. But also, if they stopped providing it,
there's
buying it.
There's that. But also, if we had the productive capacity to make things, it's like all of this. And we've had Brexit. And it's like, why isn't there a whole Buy British campaign? And why aren't you...
fantastic thing to come out of it.
Yeah, right? Why aren't you building production capacity here after COVID when we had no fucking PPE?
Yeah.
And instead we're having huge bonfires of this stuff. And it's like, build the capacity. Even if you haven't got the machines for a specific thing, you've got the space and you've got some machines and you can turn those machines around.
Well, I think of that space that you were just talking about. That could
exactly
literally that.
Yeah, it's a space where
we doing this?
Literally loads of machinery and creating productive. So
we could be doing loads. We could be doing that out of Brexit. That would be a great turnaround for the country to be
more self-sufficient.
Yeah, exactly. We've done this. Whoops. Now let's become more self-sufficient because of that. Let's provide our own services and provide our own products and everything. It would be so good.
Yeah. And there's still stuff that we do make. We still are one of the, believe it or not, one of the biggest manufacturers in the world.
It's just not cost effective, is it?
Well, they'll say it's the price and they'll say it's the people that are too expensive, but our wages are shit.
Yeah,
it's not that.
True. Yeah.
It's the wages at the top that's the problem, and it's costs around the country as well. Things like the trains not working.
Yeah.
The roads are not working, and the government not working.
Yeah, generally everything
not working.
Yeah.
But that all the other stuff is kind of by the by. It's like we need to, if for nothing else, just from a climate perspective, you're not going to have ports and shipping lines and ships and so you need stuff that's built around that you can utilize and turn into things.
I feel like when it happens, it'll be more. We'll do it. I feel like as a country we're a bit more adaptive and maybe.
But there's only so much we can do, and if the infrastructure's not there or there's nothing,
yeah.
Do you want to start your Minecraft right at the beginning, or do you want to have a few things built around?
Yeah, or at least have the capacity for creative mode. So
you want at least a crafting table.
Yeah, not start from fresh.
So I'm going to do the change question. Bearing in mind you work for yourself, so you can change a lot of things. But obviously, you are a person in the world, so you have limitations as well. You can't change everything.
Yes.
So you can be pragmatic about this, or you can be totally fantastical. If you could change any three things about your work, what would you change?
It's an interesting question. One that I would like to spend more time on. No, it's really interesting. One of the things that popped up straight away was go bigger. find a way to go bigger with what I'm doing.
In terms of the work, or more work, more money, or
not necessarily more work, more money. Although I feel like both would go hand in hand. It's more like ambition, and what's the biggest thing that I can paint something on. Like that's always been something that I've been like, how far can I go with this?
Will you let me paint the whole of the Queen's Hotel?
Yeah, please. Or like something like that, or like say there's like really illustrators that I follow that have been doing really interesting work in is it Seoul, Korea? Because they get loads of people to do this sort of stuff because they really appreciate it. But essentially, it's like large inflatable characters or like large sculptures of like these people, like characters and things that they've created through just illustrating. That'd be sick. That'd be so cool. Like the idea of like, you know, the American Thanksgiving Day parade, having like a giant inflatable version of a character that you've created. God, that'd be fantastic. So that finding a way to create something that scale, that'd be amazing. Or like even in front of like lots of people, like some way of having this thing seen to a scale that's just like a mass audience. That'd be so cool. Whether that's like, like I say, through creating a giant thing or creating a character that's then like animated and gets turned into like an animation that kids get to see. That'd be amazing. But yeah, the scale of how far can I spread the things that I like to create, like where's the limit to that? I want to find that. And I don't want it to be Leeds. I want it to be further than just Leeds. So that would be great. More things. I'd like to up my sort of production of things as well. I suppose this would be a thing that then leads to the other thing, but I'd like a big like workshop, like wood workshop and sort of painting workshop, similar to the places that I work outside of my own practice. But I'd like it to be just for what I do and the things that I create, which is asking a lot because like that means that I've got to up the scale of my own thing to the point that warrants buying a massive square foot workshop.
I mean, you could just go to manufacturers and fabricators and stuff and work with them that work in that area.
I mean, maybe that's another way of approaching it then. Like one thing that I would change instead of owning this large thing is working with more people to create the things that I want to create. Maybe more collaborations and ways of getting into those spaces that allow me to just make cool shit. I just want to make really big versions of the things that I already do.
I mean, is there any appeal? Like we mentioned in the study that you were working with sort of filmmakers and photographers and so on. Have you done set design, set work, film work, or anything?
I haven't done through my own stuff, but the work that I do through Bizarre, the company that I'm working part-time for, that's a lot of like the set design, build. But yeah, I'd love to see.
I was going to say, how do you feel about that? Is that an area that's of interest to you?
It's definitely of interest. I like what we create. I just don't feel as attached to it as, say, if it was my thing, like my, not something for a brand. Well, it could be for a brand, but instead of like someone else's design, it'd be really cool if it was my design. But I feel like what I'm doing right now with them is so important for learning and understanding the processes surrounding that, that then later down the line I could take that and turn it into something of my own. I'm sort of like picking up skills and obtaining knowledge that's like going to be beneficial down the line. So yeah, absolutely. Maybe like one day I'd be able to collaborate even with the people that I'm working with now. That'd be really cool.
Because I mean, you might find that, I mean, you might just keep doing this and being in all sorts of fields, but you might find as well that, you know, you start doing a particular thing that gets really popular and then it pulls you in that direction. And then you're like, oh, I kind of have specialised in this weird thing that I didn't know that I would become the expert in. So, I mean, because at the moment, there's still a million doors open to you, isn't there? So,
absolutely. But I do quite like that as well. Like a lot of the people that I really admire, namely like the illustrators that I admire, have created such
you hone into something, don't you?
They hone into mostly like the things and characters that they create, and then, like you're saying, collaborate with other people to create all sorts of different things. Like, say you could create a book series that then gets turned into an animation because it's picked up by Netflix. That's just something that I've witnessed from someone that I follow. Or there's a guy, Jean Julien, he's created characters and like essentially a whole world of characters and creates really cool paintings, but he's created this like an immersive environment that's in like a museum that's full of his work, and just through the act of painting something that has so many potential applications to different things. So I want to see, yes, the thing that I've honed in on is say painting or illustrating mostly. I want to see how far that can go. But yeah, I suppose going forward, and one of the things that I would change is working with more people, allowing myself to start the process of and creating a network that can allow for those things to happen. That seems to be quite important for the process.
Would you say I mean, this is kind of a loaded question, but would you say that the experience of all the, making the skate videos and the BMX videos, has that kind of engendered that? You're looking for that sort of artist. We're all creatives here, space of like, and we're going to do something.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm constantly trying to find that. I had that there. I found it at uni, and then I found it at Bazaar as well, actually. So like, I often think to myself that it's the same sort of people that I was hanging around with at the skate park. We're all kind of like these creative people that go against the grain slightly and want to just make things, and like, it seems like the obvious thing, oh yeah, we just want to build stuff and make stuff, but then the conversations that we have we're all just so like-minded and just have fun. Yeah, I feel like I found that again there, which is why I really enjoy the work there. It felt like I had it for a while here at Air Street workshops with the people that I sort of had in my studio, and the people that were in the other studios as well. But since sort of like the news of it potentially getting sold or it's been sold, everyone we got together for a bit, but then it seems like it faded a little bit, and a lot of people have left. So
they didn't feel secure. So they've moved on.
So yeah, I feel like I feel like it might start to come back here, but yeah, I definitely need to find a bit more of that either by creating it here, finding it somewhere else, doing whatever. But I definitely need to feel more of a push and similar conversations in terms of we're doing the same work or we can collaborate on work. But yeah, where do I find that, I suppose?
Yeah, well, it's there. If it's not there, you build it.
Yeah.
Okay, so final question, UBI. Are you familiar with UBI? No. Universal Basic Income?
Yeah. Yes.
So if there was a universal basic income, how do you think that might change your work?
I think it would allow me to do more of the things that I want to do instead of taking on things that I feel like I need to do. I feel like I create my best work when I'm allowed to be sort of left to my own devices to just have fun and create things.
Do you need a strong brief as well, though?
Yes, but I'm capable of creating that myself.
Okay.
Are
you quite content that you are going to give the client what they want, sort of thing? Because that's the hard thing, isn't it? And you said earlier in the interview that like it's important and to have as little abstraction in that process where you're directly talking to the person to get what they want.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have started to trust me. I mean, there's obviously levels of communication that are needed. I have like rounds of like start with a sketch, like how's this looking? Yeah, cool. This needs changing. This needs changing. Then do this. Then like go through stages of coming to the end product. And through those conversations, it allows me to have no area of misunderstanding. We can just talk through whatever we need to do. But then also through that, I can input why I've done certain things and made certain decisions, because I quite like things to, like, it feels like sometimes if people come to me to do something that isn't what I do, then it's like, why have you come to me almost? So I try and like instill, put across why I'm making the decisions that I'm making.
Yeah.
It feels like that's sometimes more important than like, here you go, this is the thing, I've created this, understand it. It's like having those conversations throughout is quite important. And then through that, I've been allowed to have quite a lot of creative freedom because I'm often quite capable of explaining why I've made the decisions.
And it makes sense to people.
It makes sense to people because otherwise they just don't get it.
Yeah. You're explaining the work going, and this represents this, and this is this, and they're like, what is he on about?
Yeah. But as well as if you've gone through the processes with them, like stage after stage, it's sort of not drawn out, but it's a longer process. They feel like they've been involved in that as well a lot more. So that's quite good. But yeah, generally now I have been sort of left to my own devices to create things, and that's quite nice and fun. But yeah, generally I think I'm quite good at creating my own briefs, and I'd be quite content not working for a client also. I'd love to, I love working with clients, but say if there was like a universal basic income, I would probably not work for clients, and I'd just create the things that I want to do, like, and create products and create all sorts of different things that I'd then go to markets and sell or put on a shop, or it would probably change the process of the things that I make and turn it more into, here's my things, buy my things, rather than what do you need? The question of what do you need probably wouldn't really come up so much.
But there's always a limitation, isn't there, of like, if you say, I don't know, say you've got someone in Scarborough who's got a shop who's like, your stuff will be great for my shop, and it'll sell, you've got regular pieces, you're going out. You're still limited to a degree by what people are buying and what people sell, and, you know, like what you sell and what they buy and so on.
Yeah.
So there's always constraints.
Yes.
But do you feel maybe like do you still feel like you're just kind of seeing what's out there still?
Yeah. I feel like that would always be the case though, in a way, because there's always like a bigger goal.
But it feels like you don't necessarily want to get stuck into any particular area yet.
Yeah.
You want to keep moving around.
Yeah, definitely.
And then maybe you'll settle into something of like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely feels like what's happening. But then even the idea of settling into a final thing, because I feel like there's certain constants.
There's no big work burning to get out of, like, other than the big ambitious thing of like something big.
Yeah.
You haven't got a secret one that's sort of like, one day I'm going to do this.
Yeah,
kind of
no,
thing.
absolutely.
Not yet.
Well, there's a few, that's the problem. Right. Where it's like that, it can be presented in so many different ways. Like, for instance, I really want to make a graphic novel. That would be fantastic, that I've been like sort of drip feeding into my sketchbooks throughout the years. That'd be really cool. I'd love to be able to work on that. Like, that'd be say if there was a way of me earning an income without having to worry, I'd focus on projects like that. That'd be fantastic. But
would you ever be buyer-led by... So say you don't want... You know, it'd be nice to work without having a client sort of thing and to generate all your own work. So going back to that thing about what sells.
Yeah.
So if you did that, for example, so say you took the time out and you're like, I'm going to do this graphic novel.
Yes.
And you put the time into it and it doesn't sell.
Yeah.
Like, would you ever be guide, or I mean, because you could do it now in a kind of crowd-funded online way of like, oh, I've done this, have a look at it, give me your feedback, do you want more of it, can we build up to it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which feels like, unless you're really passionate about the project, would just kill the whole thing. For me, it would be like, that's just too much work around the work. I'd rather just get on and do the work. So how would you feel about, I guess I'm asking then, would you work up to something like that where it's like, okay, I've got enough money, I'm going to do a personal project on my own, take the hit for it, take the risk on it.
Yeah.
Would that be the way that you'd go, maybe?
Probably, yeah.
Would you do any pre-sales though? Like in this age now? Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I've done it before. Say I did a pre-sale on, there's a little demon up in the corner of my studio that's like a go to hell on a flag. I released that as a design and then said like, I'm going to turn this into a laser cut demon that I'm going to paint. Did pre-sales for it, did really well. Manufactured it and sold it. And it was quite an ambitious project really, because there's like the layers to it, getting the file sent off and doing, like it took quite a while to complete. But then that allows me to think, oh, people do want what I do and they're willing to pay for it before it's even a finished product. So I would absolutely do that.
Yeah.
That seems like a way forward. The Patreon idea of it, or like say you've
I'd go for a crowdfunder over
Patreon. Crowdfunder. Yeah, because Patreon's more of like a...
You need, it's only 3% of your audience will go to a Patreon, so you need a massive audience to get anything out of it. Yeah.
But yeah, crowdfunder, I mean, I would try to do something like that for sure, but yeah, as you say, it's like a lot of work around the work, but then so is like going back to creating content for like social media. That's a lot of work around the work.
Well, that's it. If you enjoy that part of it, then again, it's not work, is it?
Yeah. But as long as there's some benefit, whether that's like money, like monetary, or just dopamine, I suppose. Yeah. As long as I'm benefiting from it in some way, I'll do it. So if I found a way to make it enjoyable, then I'd probably do that process. But it's one of those things that I keep saying to myself, like, I'll probably just do an MA and then blast out this comic that I want to do, or this graphic novel that I want to do in a year, 2 years, whatever it is, as part of this to try and like finish it.
Yeah.
Because it's quite an ambitious project.
Yeah.
Then that's the sort of level of thing, that's what I would do it under. Like I say, an MA would be fantastic for that because it's a really good goal, like target to hit is I want to do this project. I've got it lined up, ready. And then I also want to gain in an educational way through that. But yeah, I feel like as well, if I was able to just be paid to do it, then I would also do it. It's just one of those things that's so long that I need some form of benefit at the end of it. Because I don't know, say if it never sold, at least if I did an MA, I've got an education from it. If I had universal basic income, I've been paid along the process. Yeah. So I feel like it would be a really beneficial thing and quite an important thing to have as a system, like into the system. It would help a lot of people with that sort of thing.
I mean, it would help me with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was complaining to you before about I've got plenty to edit, but I don't want to do it because I'm not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
If I had a UBI, I'd be like, I'd be smashing two of these out
right now.
Yeah.
But then you'll find people, this is probably the problem of why it's not.
And then I'd get it to a point where it could actually make fucking money.
Yeah, like actual, and then you might not even need bloody universal basic income. But yeah, I don't know what. I guess people are like, well, the people will abuse the system and do whatever. But like, if there was a universal basic income,
but
why can't people do whatever they want?
Who were the people that abused the system during lockdown? It wasn't the people on furlough.
No, bloody wasn't.
No, it was small businesses that really existed.
Yeah. I know. It's stupid.
All these, and the amount of real businesses that didn't get any help because of these stupid conditions. And then there's a bunch of sham companies getting...
I don't get where they get these ideas from. It's like the government are cutting disability benefits at the moment. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, I mean, you've got to stop listening to the rhetoric and start looking at the outcomes of these policies and going... Oh yeah, that's what they're actually doing. Yeah. We can see what's actually happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop listening to them.
Yeah.
They're just liars.
Yeah.
Stop listening to liars.
Yeah.
And expecting them not to lie to you.
Yeah. What is it? There's a Baz Luhrmann song where it's like, everybody's free to wear sunscreen. Have you ever heard it? Yeah. And it's like, politicians are going to lie, philander's going to, I don't know.
Yeah, politicians will always philander.
Yeah. And it's like, basically you just got to deal with the fact that these things are going to happen and don't trust a liar.
Yeah, I mean, it's same as it ever was, but also, it is different. It's, I interviewed this young lady. And I mean young lady, she was born in 2000, and I'm like, God. And I don't know how old you are.
I was born in 95, so only 5 years older than her. But.
And it's like, so many things that are just, you forget that the world wasn't like that. You forget how different the 90s was. Yeah. And that you didn't have any of this. And even just before Facebook, the early 2000s. I feel
quite fortunate with my generation where it's like I've gone through the transition.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of capable of...
You were kind of old enough to be a person when you first encountered the internet. It wasn't just always there.
Yeah. No, and dial-up as a thing. But no, it's crazy to think that there's kids being born into this. And this is it now.
Yeah.
Well, it seems
and they don't think... And it's kind of like, how do you find anywhere without a phone and stuff, and you're like, well, you just did. You just And how did you meet people?
Or...
Well, you arranged a time to meet someone at a place, and then you turned up there.
Yeah.
And if you were late, and they might hang around.
Yeah.
And you could maybe bring someone's house on a payphone.
On a payphone and do the 0800 reverse.
Yeah, reverse charges.
I would always reverse charge it because I didn't have any bloody money.
No. And if you did, you never had the right coins for the payphone.
No. And then, you'd go home when the streetlights came on and stuff like that. So it was a simpler way of life, I feel. Although there's such a benefit to having like a computer in your pocket at all times. Like I'm constantly catching myself being like saying things in conversation. I'm like, is that true? And then I Google it. I'm like, I'm so sorry. That was absolute bullshit. That wasn't. Consider me wrong.
But it's getting harder to verify stuff now.
I know, absolutely, yeah. But it's very simple things like the pronunciation of a word or bloody, I don't know, whether your eyeballs grow when you're a child.
Yeah, all the well, parents are terrible for it because parents say loads of stuff, obviously, because, you know, they're always telling you stuff like, don't do that, put that down, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
But, you know, a lot of stuff that's like just throw away comments. And then as a kid, they're like...
instilled in you.
These will land in your head and then you'll live your entire life off this thing. And someone will say something and you're like, what? That's not true. And you say to your parents, they're like, you told me this. And they're like, what? I never told you that. And it's like, you definitely said this.
For them, it was just a comment. Yeah, for you, it's everything.
Yeah, it's like, you blew my world up. Like, I've been living under this impression my whole life.
Oh, God.
Well, we don't check things, do we? We just walk around with I now know this information, that's true. And until someone disabuses of you just think it's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going off into complete nonsense territory now.
I like nonsense territory.
So, well, I normally do a bit at the end where I throw it over to you to talk about anything that you might want to talk about. So if there's anything we haven't touched on yet, I know it's quite comprehensive as well. But if you've got a burning desire to talk about something or you want to tell future listeners about something coming up, now is your time. But while you think of that, I'm going to ask you for your socials. So where can people find you?
So people can find me at Jaydon Rowbottom, Jaydon Rowbottom. That's my Instagram handle. And generally where I can, I think on Facebook it's that. I think on X it's that. Oh, I'd never use that because why would you? At Jaydon Rowbottom.
Have you got a website?
Right now I don't. It's currently under construction, so I'm working on it. But that will be, I've got the handle, that'll be jaydonrowbottom.com when that's live, hopefully soon.
And I guess people can just contact you through Instagram.
Through Instagram, or if they want to contact me through email, it's hello@jaydonrowbottom.com.
Excellent. So is there anything that you've got a burning desire to put on a podcast or?
No, weirdly. I've got my mind's gone blank.
I mean, you've done a lot of talk. You have just talked for 2 hours.
I know, I feel like I've got it all out, which is really good. I don't know. Make Leeds better.
Is there have you got any sort of regular selling work, like small stuff that you sell regularly?
So I need to update my shop as well. The Go to Hell Demon that I mentioned, I'll be getting more of those on my shop. So if you're interested in those, then that'll be available soon. I just need to get some more laser cut.
Found it now. I was looking.
Oh yeah, sorry,
I couldn't see it, and now I found him.
Yeah, this little guy on top of my shelf. I've got prints. I do markets and things like that quite regularly, and. Yeah, look out for me using a painted snowboard on probably Escape or Chill Factor or something like that. Being an idiot on a slope.
Yeah, don't break anything.
Yeah, no, I've done that. I've been there, done that. Broken quite a lot of things. So, no, generally, just go look at my content, I suppose. I try and make things that are appealing. I'm hopefully going to be making more stupid stuff because I'm an idiot, and I want to show that to the world. Yeah.
Thank you again to Jaydon for being my guest. Thanks as always to all my guests, and thank you to you Leeds for being my subject. You can find Jaydon Rowbottom at www.instagram.com/Jaydon Jaydon Rowbottom. If you'd like to give me work, please do. I need it. If you don't know, stay tuned after this intro to hear my show credits and find out all about my podcast company, Western Studios Leeds Limited, which I started to help me make this show, just in case I made no money from the show. Which is just as well, isn't it? I have made shows for Visible Projects in Leeds and Clarion Solicitors, and I edit Phil Fraser's Leeds Business podcast. Go back and check out Phil's episode in Working Hours. It's Series 2, Episode 12, if you haven't listened to that already, especially if you do listen to the Leeds Business podcast. And if you don't, and you're doing business in Leeds, what are you doing? Listen to that. It's good. And that's me saying that. And not just because I work on it, but like it is good. What else? I've also just edited a training course for Leeds University. So if you've any content creation planned, go check out my prices on my website, which is western-studios.com. Okay, so we're on the run to 200 episodes. I need to bank a few more interviews as soon as possible to get me there. And I do want to get there. But after that... So let's get to that 200 episodes before the nukes fly, the robots take over and the ice caps fully melt. We need to do it before then because there won't be anyone left to interview or even hear the interviews at that point. So if you know someone interesting, or maybe you even are someone interesting, or even if you're someone boring, get involved as soon as possible. Get your interview arranged. That way you have a much better chance of A, being interviewed for Working Hours, and also 2, of having your episode published as well. You've seen the turnaround on these things. Okay, returning to Air Street Studios. Firstly, if you're an Outlander, then please be aware that Air is as in the river, what Leeds is built on and that Tetleys were made with. It's spelt A-I-R-E. It's also the river that was in the Louis Le Prince film of Leeds Bridge as well, one of the first films in the world, obviously. And also, B, please support Air Street Studios and keep it going. It's a fantastic place, and I'd love to go back and interview anyone and everyone else there. And if someone wants to give us a budget for such an episode, we could also add video to it as well. Also, if there's a Leeds business you know of that has been on the show who are struggling at the moment, then why not share their Working Hours episode? It might help them. It definitely helps the show, and it costs you nothing. Maybe even listen to it as well. Maybe go wild, and if you can afford it, buy something from that business. Just a thought. If you know of, or you are a Leeds business that is struggling, then please come and tell the show about it. There's no exclusivity or embargo on my interviews, so I'm happy to post or provide clips from our discussion to you before your episode is published for your own socials and to build some awareness and some marketing in before your episode is published. It builds interest for your episode, and again, it will help me, and hopefully it might even help you too. Plus, if you're running a business that is struggling, first, it's not all on you. As the saying goes, excuse my French, shit is fucked. So maybe taking a minute off from it, well, 2 hours, and chatting to a stranger about why you're doing what you're doing at the moment, what's hard about it, and what, if anything, you actually like about it, well, it might just help clarify a few things for you and help you to think about the challenges anew. It might just help share the load. It might just help you realize how silly your worries are when you say them out loud. Or it might just be a recording of someone having a bad time, but, you know, it's someone new to moan to at least. Hell, it might even bring you some work. I've said that twice. It's worth saying twice. I know this podcast has brought at least one person some work. So it does happen. You might even have a laugh or a cry or even lock your husband out. Seriously though, what is the worst that can happen? You can't say, oh, worse than I already have. And if you do, who's really going to hear it? No one else is listening to this, just you. Nobody else knows about it. And more importantly, how many of my listeners, your customers and potential customers, will care enough about something you say to say something to you? How awful are you, really? And finally, nothing to do with alt, but I've been watching the latest Adam Curtis series, Shifty, on the filthy BBC's iPlayer, and it's nice to see Leeds featured in a Curtis film. What we are in it for isn't nice. But anyway, it's another banger from Curtis. If you've never watched his stuff, watch all of it, and watch it on iPlayer. Get some out of your state broadcaster subscription. Okay, I'm stopping there. Don't worry. No big monologues anymore, just occasional short ones. I do have more to say about the show in future episodes. We will be talking about money for the show again soon. Anyway, if you would like to contact me about anything working hours related, then you can email me, and you can email the show about the show at workinghourspod@western-studios.com. Okay. That's me. Remember, listener, no matter what you do, it's impossible for you to understand anything that your salary depends on you not understanding. So try to work for peace and try to plan with kindness. Raise your voice, but reduce your impact. Cheers, ears. Take care out there, and do be kind to each other, Leeds. Working Hours is produced, recorded, edited, created and published by Simon Treen for Western Studios Leeds Limited. The music was The Bees from Chopin's Etudes, which is in the public domain and was taken from museopen.org. Remember, Western Studios Leeds Limited when you're ready to start making your content in West Yorkshire. Follow Western Studios Leeds on Facebook, facebook.com/Western_Studios_Leeds, and on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/company/Western-Studios. Bookmark western-studios.com so you can see the latest prices, and use my contact page to drop me a message about your own podcast project or working hours at any time from anywhere. Maybe you want or need a podcast host, co-host or narrator for your podcast project. Maybe you just need another voice for one or more episodes of your show. Podcasts are so much more than gossip, book promotions and marketing for online courses. Podcasts and other audio content get your online brand out there. Want to make some fundraising case studies? Want to have an audiobook or video course? Want to share your learning, knowledge and expertise in your field? Want to learn, teach or raise awareness of something general or particular? Want to improve internal comms with messages your staff might actually engage with? Or do you just want to brighten up the world with some entertaining content? Then make a podcast. If you're making your podcast within West Yorkshire, then think about making it with western-studios.com. Whatever your podcast questions or needs, get in touch with Western Studios Leeds.